Yes guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Andy Carter, PGA teacher professional down here at the Cowen Golf Academy in Dubai. And today's video, we're talking all about weight distribution in the feet. Now we're not talking whether the weight should be on the lead foot or the trail foot, whether we sway from side to side. We're actually talking front to back. Should the weight be on the heels? Should the weight be on the toes? Or should it be in the middle? Now we're also going to be talking in this video about the common faults that I see and what those common faults lead to in the golf swing, what it prevents, what it causes, and also how it affects the golf swing in the upper body and how the golf ball, most importantly, how the golf ball is affected. So first, to answer the question of what's the most common fault, and I think the most common fault, and I actually do this myself, I do it all the time, putting the weight into the toes. If you're a golfer, if you go and film yourself, watch how your feet work during your golf swing. Do you often see maybe the trail heel come off the ground a little bit? I see that a lot with golfers that are trying to really rotate up into this right hip and end up kind of lifting up a little bit there. Start to think to yourself, well, if my right heel's up, where's the body weight? Body weight is going to be on the tiptoes, isn't it? If what the most common fault with body weight on the tiptoes is, you can't rotate. I challenge everybody now, if you're watching this on your phone or you're watching it on the laptop, stand up, jump onto your tiptoes, try and rotate for me. It's so difficult to get a good rotation in your body when your weight's forward in your feet. You can't turn from here. You can't maintain a posture and rotate. You have very limited balance. So I often urge golfers just to get onto the heels. At least with the heel position, you can add rotation. Now, obviously, being too much on the heels also comes with its flaws as well. If you get too much towards the heels, then you're often likely to start to sway from side to side as well. You can almost over-rotate from the heels. So where should the weight position be? Weight position should be on the balls of the feet. So just back from the toes, past the arches on your feet. Therefore, you've got a good balance of being able to rotate, but also not rotate too much. And as you start to rotate through impact, you're able to transfer the weight much more efficiently as well. Very difficult to transfer your weight from trail foot to lead foot in the golf swing if your weight's on heels or toes. All right, so how do you look for it yourself? So when you're on the driving range, if you're recording your swing, you'll start to see the soles of your shoes just slowly start to disappear as you go into the backswing. You may see your right heel up off the ground. You'll also be looking at your hip rotation. Have you rotated enough? Is there enough pressure into that right glute? Has the right hip or the trail hip gone back enough to give you enough upper body rotation to get the club into the top of the backswing? If you are onto the toes and you don't rotate properly, look how steep my backswing goes. I don't really complete my turn with my arms and my upper body, therefore I'm likely to cut across the ball. And I do see this a lot with golfers that slice the ball. If your weight's in your toes, you are likely to slice the ball. I have seen golfers, don't get me wrong, that get a little bit onto the toes and then manage to kind of manipulate their way on manipulate themselves on the way down. Now, if they do that, then they're having to then extend the hips in towards the ball, so they're now causing another fault. Golfers that swing a little bit too much towards the heels, you'll find that maybe the toes come up, maybe they over rotate a little bit too much, maybe the swing itself gets a little bit too flat during the backswing, and then a lot of the shots you can kind of start to see heavy strikes or a big pushed shot towards the right hand side. So it's definitely something to be wary of based on your type of shot that you hit. If you're a slicer, check the positioning of your body weight at the top of your backswing. Is it preventing you from getting a full shoulder rotation? A lot of golfers do say to me, I've got very limited hip turn, and we all do. To be fair, none of us have really got strong hip flexors, but if your weight's in the wrong place in your feet, then you will not be able to rotate as you would like to, okay? So I want to try and make sure that the body weight's kind of positioned right down the balls of my feet, so it's going through the top of my knee into the balls of my feet there, and when I get to the top of the backswing, I'm here. If you're a golfer and you've noticed that you've got your weight more towards your toes, how the fix for this, I want you to curl your big toes up of both feet, and I want you to try and feel like you are swinging a bit more around your heels, just to get that opposite sensation. Get around the heels, get a feeling. This is something that I do. I often curl the big toes up in my right foot so I can rotate around the heel. And it gives me a much better that's miles left of the green. It gives me a much better rotation into the backswing, gives me a much better position with my trail hip and a stronger upper body rotational position as well. If you're a golfer that sits a little bit too much into the heels at setup, you might notice that you've got a slightly exaggerated posture. You might also notice you're a little bit too close to the ball as well. You'll certainly start to feel the tiptoes coming up, and then that swing will feel very, very flat. So again, just want you to try and almost impose yourself on the ball a little bit better. Try and stand a little bit closer, try and stand a little bit taller into your posture, and just really push your weight a little bit more towards your tiptoes. Again, what you've noticed there, we're doing the opposites to try and add some feeling. Therefore, you're going to be able to change the movement a lot faster. So a little bit less knee flex, stand up a little bit taller into your posture, and hit the swing there from there. Again, Mr. Green left. Probably should start aiming. So if you're in a position here, if you're a little bit less knee flex, a little bit more imposed up into your posture, the weight moves forwards. You'll see people that are a bit more seated, maybe more of an exaggerated posture, a bit more knee flex, may sit a little bit more back into the heel. So this is definitely something to try to look at. If you're a golfer that hooks or slices the ball, this is massive, this is huge. You can't change your golf swing if the weight's in the wrong position. We do often see tips about lateral movements with the body weight, but the weight in the feet has to be absolutely perfect. So there's two kind of quick fixes if you are toes or heel dominant at setup and at the top of the backswing to kind of help you work towards achieving the goals. Like I say, the most common is moving towards the toes. Make sure you're back into your heels so you can add a bit more hip turn and a bit more shoulder turn, and you'll definitely start to swing the club a little bit flatter. And if you're a slicer, this could be absolute gold dust for you. So give it a try. If you've enjoyed it on the range, jump in the comments below. Let me know how you've got on, or is it something you've tried as a coach, told you something similar? Interact with me, drop me some messages. If you're new to the channel, please follow me on my social media platforms as well. Lots of tips going out onto Facebook as well. Just hit that 29,000 mark. So once we get closer to 30,000, we've got 3 pretty awesome giveaways to come. So please do stay tuned. As soon as you're a subscriber, you're going to be in the draw for that anyway. Guys, thank you for watching from a beautiful, quite warm actually, Dubai. Not that I'm surprised, I'm not sure why. See you again.